The science of attraction is a complex and fascinating field, with roots that stretch back to our evolutionary past. From the way we're wired to seek out certain physical features to the subtle social cues that draw us to potential mates, there's a lot more to attraction than meets the eye. In this video, we'll be exploring 10 key psychological principles that shape our attraction to others. We'll delve into the role of evolution, the importance of physical symmetry and facial features, the power of body language and proximity, and much more. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of the science behind attraction, and you'll be equipped with insights that can help you navigate the complex world of dating and relationships. Before we go on, if you're curious about improving your dating skills, why not book a free 60-minute strategy call? Just click the link below. Now let's dive in. 1. The role of evolution in attraction. Let's start with one of the most fundamental principles of attraction, the role of evolution. According to evolutionary psychology, many of our attraction patterns are rooted in the survival and reproductive needs of our ancestors. For example, men may be drawn to women with youthful features and curvy figures, because these characteristics are associated with fertility and reproductive potential. Women, on the other hand, may be attracted to men with strong jawlines and broad shoulders, because these features are associated with strength, protection, and the ability to provide resources. Of course, these preferences aren't set in stone, and they can vary widely across individuals and cultures. But the basic idea is that our brains are wired to seek out certain traits that would have been advantageous for our ancestors' survival and reproduction. This doesn't mean that we're slaves to our evolutionary past, or that we can't make conscious choices about who we're attracted to. But it does suggest that there may be some deep-seated biological factors at play when it comes to attraction. By understanding these evolutionary influences, we can gain a deeper insight into the complexities of human desire. 2. Physical symmetry. One of the most consistent findings in the science of attraction is the importance of physical symmetry. Across cultures and species, individuals with more symmetrical features are consistently rated as more attractive than those with asymmetrical features. But why is symmetry so appealing? One theory is that it's a sign of genetic health and developmental stability. Individuals with more symmetrical features are less likely to have been exposed to environmental stressors or genetic mutations during development, which can lead to asymmetries and other physical abnormalities. In other words, symmetry may be a subtle cue that an individual has good genes and is a viable reproductive partner. This doesn't mean that we're consciously assessing the symmetry of every face we see, but it may be one of the many subconscious factors that influence our attraction. Symmetry isn't the only factor that matters when it comes to physical attractiveness. Other features, such as clear skin, bright eyes, and full lips, also play a role. But the importance of symmetry suggests that there may be some universal principles of attraction that transcend cultural and individual differences. 3. The importance of facial features. When we think about physical attractiveness, we often focus on the body as a whole, but research suggests that the face may be even more important when it comes to initial attraction. Studies have shown that certain facial features are consistently rated as more attractive across cultures. For example, men tend to prefer women with large eyes, full lips, and small chins, while women tend to prefer men with strong jawlines, prominent cheekbones, and a slightly larger nose. These preferences may be rooted in evolutionary psychology, as certain facial features are associated with reproductive potential and genetic health. For example, full lips and clear skin may be signs of youth and fertility, while a strong jawline may be a sign of masculinity and the ability to protect and provide. But facial attractiveness isn't just about individual features. It's also about the overall proportions and symmetry of the face. Faces that are closer to the average or prototypical face for a given population tend to be rated as more attractive than those that deviate from the norm. So while there may be some universal principles of facial attractiveness, there's also a lot of room for individual variation and cultural differences. The key is to understand the underlying psychological principles that shape our perceptions of facial beauty. 4. Body language cues. When it comes to attraction, it's not just about what we say, it's also about what we do. Our body language can send powerful signals of interest and desire, often without us even realizing it. For example, when we're attracted to someone, we may subconsciously mirror their body language, such as crossing our legs in the same direction or leaning in closer during conversation. We may also engage in more self-grooming behaviors, such as fixing our hair or adjusting our clothing. Other nonverbal cues of attraction include maintaining eye contact, smiling, and laughing more frequently. These behaviors signal openness and approachability, which can be highly attractive to potential partners. But body language isn't just about what we do. It's also about how we do it. Research has shown that individuals who display more confident and expansive body language, such as standing up straight with shoulders back and taking up more physical space, are perceived as more attractive than those who display more closed-off or submissive body language. Of course, body language is highly context-dependent and can vary widely across individuals and cultures. But by understanding the basic principles of nonverbal communication, we can become more attuned to the subtle signals of attraction that we both send and receive. If you're enjoying today's tips on dating, don't forget to like and comment. For a deeper transformation, consider our free 60-minute strategy call. You'll learn how to meet more women and date with newfound confidence. Click the link in the pinned comment to reserve your session. 5. Similarity attraction theory. Have you ever noticed that you tend to be drawn to people who are similar to you in some way? Whether it's shared interests, values, or personality traits, we often seek out partners who feel familiar and comfortable. This phenomenon is known as the similarity attraction theory, which posits that we are more attracted to people who are like us in some way. This could be because similarity makes us feel validated and understood, or because it reduces the potential for conflict and disagreement. Research has shown that similarity can be a powerful predictor of attraction and relationship satisfaction. Couples who share similar attitudes, beliefs, and values tend to report higher levels of compatibility and happiness than those who are more dissimilar. But similarity isn't just about surface-level traits. It can also be about deeper psychological factors, such as attachment style, emotional intelligence, and communication patterns. When we find someone who gets us on a deep level, it can create a powerful sense of connection and attraction. Of course, too much similarity can also be a problem. We need some degree of difference and complementarity to keep things interesting and help us grow. The key is to find a balance between similarity and diversity in our relationships. 6. The effect of proximity. Have you ever noticed that you're more likely to develop a crush on someone you see every day, like a coworker or classmate, than someone you only see occasionally? This is known as the mere exposure effect, which suggests that familiarity breeds attraction. The idea is that the more we're exposed to something, the more we come to like it. This is because repeated exposure increases our sense of comfort and safety, which can be highly attractive in a potential partner. But proximity isn't just about physical closeness. It's also about emotional and psychological proximity. When we feel close to someone on a deeper level, whether through shared experiences, vulnerabilities, or intimate conversations, it can create a powerful sense of attraction and connection. This is why so many romantic relationships begin as friendships. The more time we spend with someone, the more opportunities we have to develop a sense of closeness and intimacy. Proximity alone isn't enough to create attraction. There needs to be some degree of compatibility and chemistry as well. But understanding the power of proximity can help us create more opportunities for connection and attraction in our lives. 7. The scarcity principle. Have you ever noticed that people seem more attractive when they're less available? Whether it's a crush who's always busy or a potential partner who's in high demand, scarcity can be a powerful aphrodisiac. This is known as the scarcity principle, which suggests that we tend to value things more when they're rare or hard to obtain. In the context of attraction, this means that people who are less available or more selective in their dating choices may be perceived as more desirable. There are a few reasons why scarcity can be so attractive. For one, it can create a sense of challenge or competition, which can be exciting and motivating. It can also signal high social value or desirability, which can be a turn-on. But scarcity can also create a sense of urgency or fear of missing out. When we perceive that someone is in high demand or may not be available for long, it can increase our desire to act quickly and secure their affection. Of course, scarcity can also be a double-edged sword. Too much scarcity can come across as unavailable or uninterested, which can be a turn-off. The key is to strike a balance between availability and selectivity in our dating choices. 8. Attachment styles and attraction. Have you ever noticed that you tend to be attracted to a certain type of person? Whether it's the strong, silent type or the free-spirited adventurer, our attachment style can play a big role in who we find attractive. Attachment styles are patterns of behavior and emotion that we develop in childhood based on our relationships with caregivers. There are 3 main attachment styles: secure, anxious, and avoidant. People with a secure attachment style tend to be comfortable with intimacy and independence, and are often attracted to partners who are similarly secure. People with an anxious attachment style may crave intimacy and reassurance, and may be drawn to partners who are more avoidant or unpredictable. People with an avoidant attachment style may prioritize independence and self-sufficiency, and may be attracted to partners who are more anxious or clingy. These are just general patterns, and there's a lot of individual variation within each attachment style. But understanding our own attachment style and the attachment styles of potential partners can help us make more informed choices about who we date and how we navigate relationships. It's also worth noting that attachment styles can change over time, based on our experiences and personal growth. By working on ourselves and developing more secure attachment patterns, we can improve our chances of finding and maintaining healthy, satisfying relationships. 9. The role of status and power. Let's face it, status and power can be incredibly attractive. Whether it's a high-powered executive or a confident, charismatic leader, we're often drawn to people who exude authority and influence. There are a few reasons why status and power can be so appealing. For one, they signal social value and desirability, which can be a turn-on. They can also create a sense of security and protection, which can be comforting in a partner. But status and power can also be attractive because they tap into our own desires for success and achievement. When we see someone who has achieved a high level of status or power, it can inspire us to pursue our own goals and ambitions. Of course, status and power can also be intimidating or off-putting if they're wielded in a domineering or controlling way. The key is to find a balance between confidence and humility, and to use one's status and power in a way that is respectful and empowering to others. It's also worth noting that status and power can be relative and context-dependent. What may be considered high status in one setting may not be in another. The key is to understand the social dynamics at play in any given situation and to navigate them with grace and authenticity. 10. The role of emotional intelligence. When it comes to attraction, it's not just about looks or status. It's also about emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Research has shown that people with high emotional intelligence tend to be more successful in relationships, both romantic and platonic. They're better at communicating their needs and feelings, resolving conflicts, and creating a sense of intimacy and connection. But emotional intelligence isn't just important for the health of a relationship. It can also be highly attractive in a potential partner. When we see someone who is emotionally aware and responsive, it can create a sense of safety and trust. It signals that they're capable of deep, meaningful connection and are invested in the well-being of others. By cultivating our own emotional intelligence and seeking out partners who value it as well, we can create more fulfilling and satisfying relationships, and maybe even find ourselves more attractive in the process. So now that you know all about the science of attraction, what's next for you? Discover how to tell if women think you're good-looking, or learn the mistakes that instantly kill sexual tension. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.